G'day legends, I hope you're all fantastic. On today's video, we've got two new pedals from Wampler as part of their new collective series, the Triumph Overdrive and the Phenom Distortion. They both feature two separate modes as well as a drive, level and 3-band EQ controls on here. The most exciting thing about this for a lot of people watching are each of these pedals are $99 US. That's their street price anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my Artist Guitars Falcon, which is a very well-priced little budget kind of short scale guitar, which you would have seen a video with recently. And I'm just going to start by noodling around with these into a clean amp. From there, I'm going to go and really deep dive on each of these and try to find some applications in my rig. You're going to be hearing the Synergy T-DLX module for all the clean tones and the Synergy 800 module for the crunch tones. I will pull out my Boogie Mark IV towards the end of the video for some filth as well. Let's go. Now that we've heard them over that little jam track, I want to go pedal by pedal and just really dial it in for this particular setup and hopefully show off the range of tones that you can get out of this. So we'll start with the Triumph. The smooth and punch modes on there do have a fairly different character. I'll let you hear that with a small amount of gain and then a large amount of gain, and we will hear both of these units a little bit later running them into a dirty amp. But for now, here is the clean tone. differences between the two modes are pretty marked. They're both at low gain settings with the volume up, using it more like a boost, and also with the actual gain control up pretty high, using it as more of a saturated drive. Punch has a lot more output, and if I was going to use this in front of a dirty amp, I would probably go with that particular mode. Smooth definitely has this kind of more mid-range and low mid-range focus to my ears. What I like with this is basically having the bass and treble going opposite directions. So if you want more of that really nasty kind of lo-fi drive, crank the treble up and keep the bass down low on either mode. I might just do this on punch mode because I think it sounds a little bit more open. And then you throw them the other way and you're going to get a very smooth compressed drive. Now, as much as I love the classic 3-knob level, drive, and tone drive pedal, this is super cool being able to get all those different shades of the same core tone out of there, like pulling back the mid-range versus boosting it, especially on that smooth mode, really takes you from something that could be used for like a rootsy rhythm guitar thing to a super saturated mid-focus tone. Curious to see how this works on the Phenom. We'll stay with the same guitar. I will grab some humbuckers in a second and let you hear this with humbuckers into a clean amp. Then we'll get a dirty amp tone up. I'm excited about that. So let's start off on the classic mode here. First thing you will notice with the gain all the way on 0, you get absolutely nothing out of this. I'm going to leave the gain really low and let you hear the range of the overall volume boost out of this. Balancing out the gain and the volume control is very important in there to avoid that kind of super high-end, annoying fizz that you often get out of distortion pedals. But I am glad that you can pump up the bass and the treble and pull the mids out completely and get that garage band tone that I think everybody has to experience at some point of their development. I've got my 2002 Les Paul now. Let's go to the opposite end of the price spectrum with guitars, and I will start on the Phenom. I definitely like the bright mode with this guitar a lot more. And you know, you don't have to have the bass control up very high on this if you're using like a clean Fendery thing like I am at the moment. There's already plenty of bass in there. It's more about balancing out the mid-range and the treble and then the amount of gain that you like. So let's try that. All right, let's hear the Triumph now into that same clean amp. So far, this is all kind of tracking to my personal preferences when it comes to using drive pedals as part of my guitar tone. I really like them with single coils into a clean amp. When it comes to humbuckers, they're okay, but I much prefer using humbuckers with amp gain and then using a drive pedal to kind of add an extra layer of filth on top of that. So let's set up the Triumph as a boost into the Brit 800 module on the Synergy system. I'm going to have the volume all the way up, the punch mode on, gain all the way down. I'm going to start with the EQ kind of neutral, but generally what I aim for with a drive like this, and I like that I've got the 3-band EQ here, is to cut some bass and pump up some mid-range and some treble to just push the amp harder. So rather than use the pedal for the drive, the pedal is just kicking the amp into absolute craziness. Let's hear the chord tone, and then I'll bring it in. like that. I like that a lot. Having that fine control over the mid-range in there, again, it can take you from basically the same amp character with just more of what you already like to transforming it into something that is a lot more suited for lead playing. So punch mode on there, gain at minimum, volume all the way up. That is a pretty awesome pre-boost for a crunchy Marshall style amp. Let's see what we can get out of the Phenom into that same tone. So I'm going to start with the gain low, and I'm going to be a little bit more careful with the volume control here, as well as the EQ. I might start with it at noon, and I'm going to be a little bit more conservative with this because this is going to introduce way more level and a little bit of extra clipping on there. So it's going to be a different vibe. So much for staying conservative, hey. That chainsaws on a Les Paul with PAF style pickups. So imagine what it would do with something with some EMGs or something like that. That would be super nasty. I think it's pretty clear if you're going to use a Phenom with a high gain amp, you may as well go all in. That's the way I would use it. There's so much boost happening on there, and I've got the gain well below noon, whereas the Triumph is way more in that kind of like boost, mild overdrive category. With this particular setup, I should probably let you hear this into my Boogie Mark IV with my PRS in drop C. I'm going to use the Phenom for the chainsaw effect, and I'm going to use the Triumph as just a kind of subtle pre-boost. That is utterly obscene. I apologize to everybody's eardrums out there, but that is too much fun. Last example, I'll use the Phenom as the main drive, and I'll boost it with Triumph. Let's hear it. I'll start with Phenom. I'm a little less into that, but like I said earlier, Triumph kind of hitting the front end of either a Marshall or some kind of high gain thing to kick it over the edge to give you more of what you already like about your tone is beautiful. The Phenom, I think, can give you all those kind of smooth, Gilmore-y distorted sounds with single coils into a really clean Fender style amp, and into a dirty amp, it definitely chainsaws. So that's me noodling around with the Collective series by Wampler. If you want to learn more information, check the video description, and a big thank you to the team at Boutique Amps Distribution for sending these two out to me to try out and make some noise. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below, and I'll see you all next time. Thanks for watching.